Ella Jane Fitzgerald was born in Newport News, Virginia on April 25, 1917. Her mother's name was Temperance, but everyone called her Tempy, and her father's name was William. Her parents split up soon after they had Ella. Even when Ella was very young, she danced and sang. Ella considered herself the tomboy of the neighborhood and would often join the pickup games of baseball that were held. In 1932, Ella's mother died of a car accident. Shortly after, her stepbrother died of a heart attack, and so did her little sister. With nobody to turn to, Ella began to go through a rough patch and was sent to reform school. But in 1934, when Ella was 17, Ella's name was called in a weekly drawing at the Apollo Theater, and she won the chance to compete in amateur night. Ella went to the theater planning to dance, but when the Dancing Edwards sisters closed the show, Ella quickly decided against it. Once on stage, faced with boos and murmurs from an unruly crowd, a scared and frantic Ella made the last-minute decision to sing. After singing one song, Ella was forced to do an encore. The audience loved her so much. With many supporters, Ella began entering and winning every talent show she could find. In January 1935, she won the chance to perform for a week with the Tiny Bradshaw Band at the Harlem Opera House. It was there that Ella first met drummer and bandleader Chick Webb. Although Chick had already hired a singer for the band, he offered Ella the chance to sing with his band when they played at Yale University. Ella quickly became a major success and was hired to play with the band. Ella sang with the ever-changing styles of jazz, and with a vocal range that spanned 3 octaves, there wasn't an instrument she couldn't replicate. She began experimenting with scat singing, and her improvisation and wide range excited fans. When Ella was 21, she recorded a fun version of the nursery rhyme, "A Tisket, a Tasket." The album hit #1 and sold over 1 million copies. All of a sudden, Ella Fitzgerald was famous. When Chick Webb died, Ella took over, and the band was renamed Ella Fitzgerald and Her Famous Band. While on tour in 1946, Ella fell in love with bassist Ray Brown. The two eventually married, and they adopted a son, which they named Ray Jr. Ella joined the Philharmonic Tour and worked with Louis Armstrong on several albums. From 1956 through 1964, she recorded covers of other musicians' albums. Ella began appearing on TV shows. Unfortunately, a hectic work schedule broke Ray and Ella's marriage. The two divorced in 1952, but remained good friends for the rest of their lives. She toured all over the world, sometimes performing 2 shows a day in cities hundreds of miles apart. In 1987, United States President Ronald Reagan awarded Ella the National Medal of Arts. France, Yale, Dartmouth, and many other universities bestowed awards upon her. In September of 1986, Ella underwent quintuple coronary bypass surgery. Doctors also replaced a valve in her heart and diagnosed her with diabetes, which they blamed for her failing eyesight. By the 1990s, Ella had recorded over 200 albums. In 1991, she gave her final concert at New York's renowned Carnegie Hall. It was the 26th time she performed there. Ella experienced severe circulatory problems and was forced to have both of her legs amputated below the knee. On June 15, 1996, Ella Fitzgerald died in her Beverly Hills home.